Hello, welcome to episode 19 of the ClearCut podcast. It is Monday afternoon when we are recording this, episode 19. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share if you feel led to do so.
Yes.
Pretty cool weekend. My side of the family had a week of going to Springfield, taking Hannah's, my wife's youngest sister, to college. So we did that. I came back a day early. One of my friends, I'm not going to say used to be friends because we're still friends, but like we used to hang out a lot whenever I was in high school. Once I got back from being in school in Florida and everything, came back here and ended up getting involved in church and stuff. I ended up inviting him to church one time. And he came every once in a while. Once we had the new building, he showed up every once in a while when he wasn't working on Sundays, and then he ended up going to the military. So I didn't really see him much or talk to him much. And he messaged me probably a month ago saying he comes back for about 2 weeks. And he said he wanted to be baptized when he came back. So that was really cool. But we didn't have any baptisms scheduled. Like we didn't have a baptism Sunday coming up. So the church created just a special moment, special day for him to be able to, get baptized because that was yesterday. Today's Monday. He left today to go to Korea for the Air Force. So that was really cool. But just a pretty cool thing that, someone I used to run around with, in my non-Christianity lifestyle, I invited him to church 4 years ago, and now he's getting baptized and all that. And I had the honor of baptizing him.
I was wondering if you were going to say that.
How things change. I kind of forgot. I mean, I didn't forget, but it wasn't in my mind.
That was moment. I was watching that video back, and I was on stage, so I briefly caught it. You doing it, but when I watched that video, it was very. For me, it was emotional, just because. Of course, just someone getting baptized, that's
always
an amazing
emotional
thing, a public proclamation of your faith. But not only that, but I've seen your growth since you came back to church, and then you getting the honor to baptize them. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I was pretty nervous. I was super glad that we've changed baptisms since before I had to do this.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't want to talk, because I didn't know how it would go since it was just one. I didn't know, and military, big deal, whatever. I didn't know if they were going to be like, yeah, we'll talk instead of do it during music. So like Chris was doing whatever, and he's like, you doing this? And I was like, I ain't talking. I was like, but you can do it, and I'll drown them, But I was like, I'm not talking. He goes, you don't have to talk. I was like, okay, I'll do it. But no, that was really cool. It was really, I was nervous too. He said he was super nervous. Like he didn't fall asleep till like pretty much when his alarm went off that morning.
Really?
Yeah, he was shaking. He was walking in just kind of shaking up.
To get baptized? Wow.
Yep, just nervous. Something that you brought up, how it's just emotional to see baptisms anyway. I'll say this about my wedding and baptism. I was never emotional before I did it. But once I got baptized, I'll cry almost every time we have a baptism Sunday at some point.
Yeah.
And if I see a wedding now, I get emotional. Like beforehand, I never did. But it's because I never experienced that moment and didn't know what it felt like, I guess. Like I knew how awesome it was already, but it's hard to explain. You don't know till you do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a wife and kids, I guess. Like you can't be prepared for it. No one can explain it until you're just in that moment.
I can agree with you to an extent, but I can't agree with you on the wedding part. And I don't know why, but I cried at your wedding.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I think our wedding was very, very spirit-filled, Holy Spirit-filled moment. Like I don't think I've ever.
You had all those.
I don't know if I've ever been to like a Christian concert, a church, or anything where I felt it that heavy in my life.
Yeah.
Obviously, like that was our day and stuff, so like that was already different. But I mean, even people that were just there, like you were still involved, you were singing and things. But like even people that were just sitting there, like. Just still talk about how that day was. It was weird, super weird. A couple of our friends who is in our small group, their dad, Chuck, I invited him to my wedding, known him my whole life, whatever, but he almost didn't make it because his dad actually passed away that morning. Oh, wow. And he wanted to come though so bad, and he still showed up without really wanting to. But he said he was so glad he did because of how spiritual that the whole moment was.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, like you guys had, I mean, at one point you guys had Pastor Chris, D, Darren, Jonathan, and was your uncle also a part of that prayer?
Probably.
I think
he was
so.
up there with me,
I see
the
a
whole
picture.
time. So.
I've seen a
Yeah.
picture of it in your guys' book.
No, that was, and we all like circled up,
Yeah.
and that was, it was powerful. I wish I could go back just for that spiritual feeling again, because I'm like, I have not felt that much spirit in one moment in my life. Like even when I was saved, I don't think I felt the spirit like I did in that moment.
Yeah, I think it came. I mean, even like when Hannah walked down the aisle, she did it to First Love.
Yes, I didn't know if I was listening to that song the other day, because usually when I'm home bored I was alone for a while. When my family, well, not a while, it felt like forever because I missed my kid and my wife, but I missed my kid. So I was just like eating at one point, and I just didn't want to watch YouTube or whatever, so I just turned on music, and it was just going through, and First Love came on, and I was trying to figure out if that was our first dance song or if that's the one she walked down to. But apparently she walked down to it.
I remember hearing it because her dad was walking down the aisle, of course, and I didn't know if that's why she did it, but I now listening to the song and knowing the song, I'm like, no, that's like from then, and then you guys had the prayer,
and then y'all sang
worship.
Yeah, that was nuts. Y'all killed that.
What did we do? The blessing, and then you guys. That was when you guys went out and like saw your family and everything. So that in itself was emotional as well, because like, your mom was crying. Of course, Micah was crying the entire time. Yeah,
I think my sister Anna Claire or Savannah, one of the two, or maybe both, but one of them was crying and then looked at Micah, and it made Micah just start bawling. So like then that whole row of girls just started crying. Like Grace cried because her sisters were both crying, and it was crazy, man.
Yeah. Have we talked about your wedding on this podcast?
No, I guess not. I mean, we just did.
Because what a turn of events from you guys were going to get married on the beach, right?
Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, I've never really looked at it that way. So it was almost 3 years ago. You feel like you know this more than I do.
You got married sometime in February. 21.
Was it February? I think it was January.
Shoot, man.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I don't know how to mute this.
It was snowing.
So it's just going to be dinging because my daughter, I was holding her.
Yeah. And
she did something to where I can't swipe down anymore and like do whatever. So I don't really have a clue. So I'll figure that out later, but it's going to probably ding a lot. Anyway, yeah, so it was all during COVID, which is why it's kind of a blur because we had to change our wedding date. So I always go to the date that we were supposed to get married for our anniversary in my mind. And he always is like, no, it was this month and this day. And I'm like, okay. Like I can't, my brain just wants to go to when it was supposed to be.
Right.
So we dated for like 4 or 5 months and then got engaged and then got married. Well, the plan was not to get married super fast. I mean, quicker than normal because like, why are we wasting time? We know we want to do this. And we were going to go in Alabama. We were going to rent a humongous house just for everybody to stay at on the beach. And I mean, it was going to be amazing. Like dream wedding is in my mind. Like I've always wanted to get married on a beach. I thought that'd be cool. That's about the only thing I wanted in the wedding. I'm like, you can do whatever else you want. But she was all for it. So we were going to do it in Gulf Shores. And the back of the house had like a big ramp down to the beach. So she was going to walk down the ramp, and then the ceremony would be on the beach or whatever. But Joe Biden was our president at the time, which I guess he still is, but it was COVID and he was talking about cutting down or stopping travel from state to state. Something like that.
Yeah. And
it was just basically going to be like, if we did do this, it couldn't even be like all of our family probably. Especially in one Airbnb that fits like 50 people.
Right.
So we just didn't chance it and we canceled all that stuff and literally moved the wedding up and did it probably 30 minutes away from here. 35, 40.
St. John?
Yeah. 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
And this place was awesome. We walked in and I was blown away. It was like all white, very modern, small, but not tiny. And I remember the first unbelievable thing pretty much right after we got married. It's picture time. So fun. And the second we walk outside and take the first picture, it starts snowing. Like, and it wasn't called for snow. Like it was probably like 45 degrees. Like it wasn't freezing outside. And it literally started snowing in our first picture.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Well, like you guys have some of the, I'll say prettiest because I don't know how else to say it, like wedding photos just because of the snow. Like, oh my gosh.
Just after that huge celebration like that, and just the moment that it was, I mean, what are the odds it snowed? Like, and it's not like, it's like there's 100% chance of snow today. Like we wouldn't have had the wedding if there was any chance of snow. Right. Probably. I mean, it's a county road to a
and it was
barn type thing.
That hill going like when you're going to it, that's crazy.
Yeah. So if there was 20% chance of snow, we probably been like, hey, we'll move the day.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth it. So the fact it did that, and like literally after pictures, like it stopped. Like we left, there was no snow on the ground. You know. So yeah, that was wild.
And I think
if I can find a picture of of us in the wedding, which I'm sure I have, but the snow and stuff, I'll put it up here. But yeah, it was super cool.
The oddest thing when I got there, we went outside, Taylor and I did, and I saw it was a farm when I pulled up.
With goats.
Did not realize it was a goat farm, dude.
Beachy Farms. They literally like were giving us like goat cheese because like that's stuff they do there is like goat milk and goat cheese and stuff. So they like gave us goat milk and cheese. Yep. I didn't drink it. Something
really interesting. I think we've talked about it before, and I know I've talked about it with like Micah and Hannah. Taylor and I, so Grace and I didn't know each other that well until like
No, and that's what I was gonna say is like right now I'm super glad that it was like, no offense to Kyle, but it was supposed to be Kyle and Micah, and I'm super glad it was you in that moment. Yeah. Like now, like then I was just like, okay, whatever, like who cares?
Yeah, we didn't talk to each other. We didn't even talk to each other as of like last year. I don't know when it was that we became close, but yeah, like it's crazy that I ended up there because Becca caught COVID. Kyle's wife.
Yeah. That's what it was.
And he called me like a week before saying that. And that was at the time where COVID quarantine was like, what, like 4 weeks? Like
and it was the part. Crazy. It was at the point where it's like scary, like you didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, because it was before the shutdown. It was January, February. Everything shut down in March, so it was like the really scary moment.
Like no one really knew what was going on, kind of thing. Yeah, like talking about like you almost can't leave your house here soon. So it was kind of like, okay.
Yeah. What a time to get married.
What a time.
For real.
I mean, it was scary. Like I didn't think end of the world. I mean, a lot of people probably did. But I'm just like, when I think of end of the world, I'm like, there's countries that have a lot worse than us, and God's still not coming back.
Yeah.
So I think America as a whole, we have a lot to go through before crisis coming down.
Yep.
In my mind, I bet there's signs and there's different stuff going on. I don't want to get into it too much, but I just feel like we got it pretty good. Yeah.
My wife and I were talking.
Like I can still talk about Jesus and do a podcast, post it online. Like of course. Other people get their head cut off for that.
For like people. Okay. I was thinking about talking about this. We'll talk about this.
Oh gosh.
There are so many people and so many Christians focus on like conspiracies nowadays. And we're all, like, there are so many Christians focused on the end times and how, like, they always say the end times are near. And I will say that myself. I believe the end times are near.
Yeah, I do too. Nearer than they were 2 days ago.
They're nearer than they were when Jesus said, like, they're close. The day is coming. Of course, because that was over 2,000 years ago. But like I said, my wife and I were talking about it, and we were talking about the 7 bowls that were going to be poured out. And you guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe the first bowl that's going to be poured out is sores. Like we're all going to have sores. And
I got a canker sore, bro.
I believe it's going to be on our bodies.
It's right here, dog.
Man, you got something in your mouth? My freaking wisdom tooth is growing in, dude. I think it's growing in sideways.
So, I mean, this podcast is going to be absolutely everywhere, but I'm enjoying it probably more than I have a lot of them. Yeah. The sex one was pretty fun, though. I had to. I mean, come on. That was some great.
Hey, Pastor Chris says that's the best gift this side of heaven.
Wow. Might have to take that out. We'll see. I mean, it's a good gift. In marriage. With your wife. I'll throw that one in there, too. Oh man, what was I gonna say?
We were talking about
teeth. Yeah. When I chew something on this side, It's like it gets stuck behind my tooth.
Behind your back tooth?
Yes.
Oh man.
So like then I have to like get my tongue like really work and get it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like little pieces. It's like if I eat a chocolate chip cookie, like, and it's on this side, like half the cookies back there.
Shoot, man.
And it's like been a recent, like last 3-month thing. I'm like, I don't want to go check it out and pay for anything. But I'm just like,
bro, you're 24. You're still on your mom's insurance.
no, I'm not.
You're on your mom's insurance until you're on your parents' insurance until you're 24.
Not if you go off of it.
You went off your. I guess you were making bank.
I was doing
what
okay.
in the world?
Come on.
Like, I'm about to make a dentist appointment to go get this checked out, man, because I'm 22.
That's nice.
You're not even 24.
I'm 23.
Yep.
Michael Jordan's number. Next, I'm Kobe. But yeah, it's super annoying. I gotta like remind myself I'm about to put some in my mouth, put it on this side of my mouth.
Yeah.
Super annoying. But certain things don't do it. Like carrots do it.
Oh yeah. You're eating a lot of carrots?
I did last night.
Okay.
At this ginger reveal party I was at.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I had carrots with ranch. Carrots and ranch is so good.
I can't say that.
Why? Because it's white and you can't eat.
I've tried ranch one time in my entire life.
So where from?
Chick-fil-A.
Ew. Yeah, I wouldn't eat that either.
And I like absolutely hated it.
Yeah, no, you gotta go Outback and get their ranch, bro. It's spicy.
The regular ranch?
It's like it got a little kick to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You scared me for a second because I thought you were talking about like their like the sauce they do for like the
Bloomin' onion? No.
Okay. So here's my thing. He hinted at it. If it's white, I don't like it.
You said that last podcast. That's why I brought it up.
If you give me a Chipotle sauce, I'll down it. You tell me it's Chipotle ranch, I won't touch it.
You know what really gets me is the buffalo trend right now.
You not like buffalo sauce?
I mean, it ain't that good.
Oh.
Like I had some buffalo chicken dip last night. It was all right.
See, buffalo chicken dip, I don't.
Like people put it on their pizza. I don't know if I've ever tried it on pizza.
Like a buffalo chicken pizza?
Yeah, I don't know if I've tried that. I don't know if I've just tried buffalo sauce bites, like with like a chicken nugget or on wings or anything. I don't know if I've tried it because when I think of buffalo, I think of the buffalo chicken dip, and I think that's just okay.
Buffalo wings have become my go-to. Like if I'm going to a wing place, I at least get one wing that's a buffalo wing.
One singular wing that's a buffalo wing?
Like
I didn't even know you could do that. Hey, I want 12 wings, but I want this one to be this one to be this, 2 of these. I wonder if someone's ever done that.
One of my choices, I usually only get 2. I think if you do more than 2, you're just being like extra
annoying. But if you only get 1, you're weird.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Yeah.
Like get your palate something different.
Who wants to eat 10 of the same wing? Like that's a little crazy.
Who wants to eat? Yeah, I was gonna say because I eat a lot more than 10, but I order
I'm
like
not that rich.
So expensive.
Wings are the most outrageously priced food item I think on the entire market.
But if you order chicken nuggets at the same place, like if you order boneless wings, it's expensive. But if you order a chicken nugget, which is the same thing with no sauce, it's cheaper.
Well, okay, I will not hop on that with you because yes, a boneless wing and a chicken nugget are very similar, but a chicken nugget is like ground chicken formed, and then a boneless wing is like a breast.
Like Buffalo Wild Wings, like if you order, well, I guess you have to say like I want the boneless wings with no sauce. I guess it's yeah, they're definitely better than like McDonald's chicken nugget.
Yeah,
that makes me want to throw up. Does
McDonald's have buffalo sauce?
Probably, I think so.
But yeah, man, like you like hot sauce, right?
I love hot sauce.
Buffalo sauce, in its original form, is just hot sauce and butter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'll like it.
So good. I had a friend. I was just talking to my wife about this yesterday. I had a friend when I was younger whose dad made these wings. He made like hot sauce wings. Bro, I to this day have never had a better wing.
Interesting.
And this dude's name was Zane. His dad worked on the river, so he was only home a month at a time. When he was home, I would be at Zane's house all the time, and he'd make wings at least once a month. And when he made wings, Zane would we were kids, so we didn't have phones or anything. He'd come knocking on my door, like, "Hey, my dad made wings," and so I'd go over there and just eat those wings up. And he made the best tasting tilapia I think I've ever had as well.
Tilapia's pretty good. I got trout sitting at home waiting on me to cook.
He was he started as the chef on the river, and so like he knew how to cook. He knew how to cook really well.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about a sponsorship thing.
For the podcast?
Yeah. But I haven't done anything about it. I DM'd the company and we started talking whole strength. Yeah.
Whole strength?
Yeah. It's the tank top sleeveless I wear that actually cuts lower. That's black with the white cross thing here. And it's the barbell thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's cool. So we got to do that. Or I got to do that.
That'd be sweet.
I got to fill out a thingy.
Okay.
No idea what that looks like.
You were in contact with them?
Yeah, I've been DMing them on Instagram.
Sweet.
And they actually respond.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Maybe we were actually talking about wearing tanks before we started.
Yeah.
So I wonder if
and
that's
pretty much the
something
conversation just kind of started off as like, I'm really into fitness and I'm really into Christ.
Yep.
And we do a podcast. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I'd wear their shirt, you know, even if I had to
For
like
sure.
pay something for it.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm wearing a shirt anyway,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm working out in a tank top anyway.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I would love to go to one of those gyms where it's like the dudes just take their shirts off.
Yeah. I don't know if
But
I'd like
I'd-
to work out without a shirt on.
No, but I'd love to like get a massive pump and just stare at myself in the mirror. Because in the locker room, it's awkward when naked 80-year-old men walk by and you're flexing.
I think we've addressed before.
How
At
awkward.
least I have. I am very vain. I know that I struggle with vanity, and I really enjoy to look at myself and talk about myself. And I know I need to fix that.
But I think it's better than the opposite, right?
It
like
is,
there's
yeah.
a lot of people that look at themselves and can't stand themselves, or they always find something wrong with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's worse. At least maybe not in a spiritual sense because everything's the same, but
Right.
on yourself, on your mental health. At least it's like, hey, I'm looking better. Hey, I'm changing this, or hey, this looks better. More than, wow, I still look like trash. Wow, my nose is big. I know I have a big nose. People, you don't have to point it out. I look like Squidward.
Right. That's one thing. Like negative self-image is. I've never struggled with that.
I haven't either. I got some love handles right now, though. I really don't like, bro. I think that's regular, though. You know, like I don't think anybody's like, yes, love handles.
But like I'm
only 23, and I go to the gym and I got love handles. What's going on?
Man, you're a dad. You got an excuse.
Yeah.
But even when I was big, like when I weighed 220, I looked in the mirror and I
Not
saw my,
big.
Yeah, I looked in the mirror and I saw my abs and I was like, man, I'm hot.
That's
but
funny.
now I'll look back and I'm like, bro.
I look back and I think I looked much better, like in high school. Like
That was 5 years ago.
I was good
bro.
looking. Yeah, a lot's changed in 5 years.
Well, yeah, a lot's changed in 5 years. You were playing basketball all the time, in the gym all the time, and you had not figured out you had a heart issue.
That's
So
valid.
of course you're gonna look better.
That's true. Yeah.
You probably had like 20 pounds less of muscle and
I was
30
ripped
pounds
though.
less
I
of
look back at pictures, I'm
fat.
like, dang. Because I remember the ab workout I did then versus like what all we do now sometimes. I just sat on a yoga ball and did crunches, but I did 100 of them.
On a yoga ball?
Yeah. It's insane. It's harder than the floor.
Well, yeah, you have to keep your balance on there.
Yeah. We should try it.
I will.
It's great. We can start with like 50. I can't do 100.
I don't even know if I can do one balancing on a yoga ball, bro.
It's really funny watching you do Bulgarian split squats and watching your balance because it's like really just like super easy other than the whole thing is just hard and it sucks to do. But like you can't even like do one, not because it's hard, because you just can't keep your balance.
I
Pretty
can't.
funny.
I've said this for so long. If I ever get pulled over and I got to go through a sobriety test and they make me walk on a straight line, like there is no possible way I'm going to pass at least that part. I don't drink. I have not touched a sip of alcohol. I think since my honeymoon. And I just can't. I can't walk. I cannot walk straight.
Still drunk.
Maybe I have that that disorder where your body turns carbs into alcohol.
That's interesting.
Have you never heard about that?
No.
Okay.
Would you be considered an alcoholic?
You are considered drunk all the time. So your body.
Do you feel it, or is like
Yeah.
would you just take a test and not pass?
feel it? Some people do. Some people don't because like you of course build up an immunity, but their blood alcohol level is like crazy high, because their body literally turns every carb they eat into alcohol.
Well, I definitely don't have that because I'll pound a can of cinnamon rolls a week, and I've never felt that. So I definitely don't have that condition.
Oh, that's so bad.
It's a cheat meal.
Cheat meal every week?
I don't have a cheat day. I have a cheat meal, and it's usually a can of cinnamon rolls. A whole can. All 8.
Man. I can't blame you. I can't judge it all because
dude, they're so good.
So I told you this a while back. A delicacy for me is Greek yogurt with Oreos.
Oreo thins. I haven't tried that.
But my problem is I'll eat that like at least 2 times a day, and I've gotten to the point where I only put 2 in my.
Like now, you still do that every day, twice?
At least once, but usually 2. But I'll put 2 in there, 2 Oreo thins in there, but then I'll eat another one. And then if I go to the kitchen, like I'm making dinner, I'll sneak one. And so I'm at the point now where I'm eating like 8 Oreo thins a day.
You can do that, but you can only do it 1 time a week.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I can't judge you for doing the cinnamon rolls because I'm not doing much better.
Dang. At least they're thins, I guess.
Yep. They're healthy, right?
Healthier.
Healthier.
I'm enjoying this. This really is everywhere.
Yeah. I will not touch double stuffed Oreo.
I won't either. I won't really touch Oreos for
hate a double stuffed Oreo. I think it's because I've eaten like Oreo thins for so long that double stuffed just does not do it for me at all. Speaking of that, man, I get so much heat for liking 0 sugar sodas and diet sodas. And never, like when Micah, she tried that 0 sugar Sprite we had.
It's the exact same.
She goes, "This tastes terrible." I was like, "Micah, come on now."
It's the exact same. There's like Coke Zero does not taste like Coke, but Sprite Zero and Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
If I put that in a cup, no one is going to tell me that this one's different.
Right. I just cannot stand a sugary soda anymore.
Or maybe it's different, but they're not going to tell me that it's this one's that and that one's that. There's no way.
I took a drink of Coke. It was from Popeyes like 3 months ago, and they accidentally gave me Coke.
Their soda sucks anyway.
I was like, this, like, I could taste the sugar. I was like, this is just bad.
I did read though that aspartame sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? It still gets your insulin going in your body. Sometimes it can to some people, not everyone, but it still reacts the same as sugar would react. So it's the same difference.
Yeah.
Now, there's still no calories in it.
Yeah, there's no calories. So, well, does your body then turn it into fat if it's just the aspartame?
That's what I would assume. If it thinks it's sugar, then I would feel like. So it's interesting. I have to look more into it, but I still probably wouldn't drink a regular soda.
Yeah, no.
Which I don't really often anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, if I do, it's a Sprite Zero because I don't want it to be a dark soda anyway because no caffeine in it.
Yep. You can do root beer.
Yeah.
That is something that's like, I've told, like, I've cut almost all caffeine out other than my pre-workout. But there are times, you know, like when I don't work out that day.
Yeah, I'm definitely on my caffeine when I don't work out that day.
Like a Diet Coke sounds really good. But then we don't have kidney stones running in our family. Like, that's not a thing. But I know Pastor D, the reason he got kidney stones last year was because he drank dark sodas all the time. And the doctors were like, you got to stop drinking dark sodas. But dark sodas, like, there's just something about a dark soda, man.
If I had kidney stones, I probably wouldn't say this. But I think I'd rather die than have to pass a kidney stone.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. At all. I'd probably try and never pee. I would just literally hold my pee the rest of my life. Like, I don't care. There's no way.
When I think about it, I'm
going to have to, like, hopefully pee in the bed at night.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, like, not know it.
Yeah. When I think about passing a kidney stone,
makes me want to throw up.
I automatically go to The Green Mile. You know that movie?
No.
Okay, so I believe this is the reason Tom Hanks is like the lead, like, prison guard or something in this movie, and he's like the movie is about another man, basically. Like, he got falsely accused of murdering this child, and he was on death row. And the movie's about him, and like he has magical powers or whatever. But the entire time of this movie, Tom Hanks has got a problem because I think he's got a kidney stone. Thinking about it now, that's so strange. Why would they put that in the movie? Like, oh, let's make a movie about a magical man that gets falsely accused of murdering a child, and let's have him be killed at the end, but let's have another man have kidney stones. Like, what in the world?
What's the point?
What was the writer thinking?
I'll tell you this: that was the fastest 30 minutes I've ever had in my life.
It was, yeah.
That's insane.
Okay, we are a Christian podcast, and I told Grayson
It's
before we
okay. It's
started-
still, like,
It was good. It was civil conversation.
there was nothing
not
wrong
bad.
with that.
I told Grayson before he started that I wanted to read my favorite psalm, and we talked about Revelation
Yeah.
briefly. I want to read my favorite psalm.
Talked about a spiritual wedding.
Yes.
Talked about a spiritual baptism.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't teaching.
And that's okay.
That's
Because
fine.
like sometimes I do. watch a
Sometimes you
podcast.
got to learn on your own.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta read your own Bible.
Yeah, read yourself. I hate reading.
Oftentimes I listen to a podcast and I listen to the Worship Online podcast a lot. And
You should send me some
podcasts.
podcasts because I like podcasts, but I
Mhm.
never know like what to listen to, what not to listen to.
Right.
You know, I like Stephen Furtick. Like I feel like,
Oh, you just like his messages?
yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for a big mega church, for a dude that still really likes his shoe game, you know, like he's still on that level of I can listen to what this guy says.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a few things that he says that I won't say directly go against the Bible because I have not like done my research on
right.
on the things that I see.
But
that
I know the
people say
dude's
are
spirit
wrong.
filled because his songs are fire
Right.
that he's writing.
Yep.
But then there's like that Michael Todd, you know,
Yeah.
which sucks because like I used to really, really like him. Like when I was really young
Mm-hmm.
and like was Christian, but still not doing things right. Like if I was like getting in the word at all, like I would watch a video like him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did something one time early on where like he filled up this vase of water or had ping pong balls in it or something. I can't remember exactly, but like it's always stuck with me kind of just like the video. And it was like super good. And I was like, dang, this guy's awesome. I said dang. It's
Was
kinda
it a Big
sounded
Rocks
weird.
video?
Big rocks?
Yeah, like
I
how
don't
you
know
gotta
what
have
that
your big
means.
rocks and then your small rocks.
It's possible. I don't know. But they use ping pong balls, not rocks. So I don't know. So I watched them like a long, long time and then I got farther and farther away from Christ. So I wasn't watching them.
Yeah.
And literally like I come back to Christ and this dude's crazy. He's cool, but he's,
I
yeah,
think
I can't.
think the problem with Michael Todd is he's fallen into the
Influencer.
the influencer realm, and he is one he. I truly believe he's preaching what he thinks his people want to hear, rather
Yeah.
than what God is laying on his heart.
Yeah, I won't say he doesn't know the truth,
Right? Because I believe
but
he
he's
does.
definitely not abiding by it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that because he has a mega church and he's actually making a ton of money. Like, let's be honest. If you have a ton of money, you can buy some shoes if you want shoes, or a car if you want a car. Like, just because your congregation's like, oh, it's like,
Yeah.
bro, y'all make millions every weekend. You don't think this guy's making $1 million at least a year?
Right.
Like, he's gonna have a Bentley.
Mhm.
You know, like let's be a normal human here.
Yeah.
It would be funny watching Pastor Chris pull up in a Bentley, though.
I don't think it would.
He wouldn't fit in a Bentley.
No. He has such a hard time
I know.
getting new vehicles, anyways. Like
Yeah.
if he has a vehicle breakdown, I couldn't imagine.
Oh no, he would
pulling up
never
in a
do
Bentley.
it. He wouldn't buy anything that's just brand new. I don't think.
I'm ready for him to pull up in his bike again.
I've never seen that,
I want to get behind him when he's coming in on his bike.
bro. He'd probably look massive on that thing. Just wearing a
It looks
vest.
like a little tricycle.
Yeah, just wearing a vest. Yeah, it looks like a little.
Looks like a
That's
little
funny.
Tykes bike.
That's funny.
Okay, we're gonna end with
Do
this
your song,
Okay,
whatever you're doing.
So there's a song that I got introduced to a while back. Church on the Move out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They did this song, and I fell in love with it. It's called Everlasting
I'm
God.
gonna have to like mix your freaking voice, golly.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to mix your voice.
Why?
I said freaking. Can I say that?
Why?
You're about to sing.
No, I'm not gonna sing. I'm gonna say the song.
Oh,
But like I said, I fell in love with the song, and it's originally like a gospel song by a man, William Murphy, I believe. But it's Psalm 27. It says,
Oh.
"The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries and foes, it is they who stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war rise against me, yet I will be confident. One thing have I asked of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me high upon a rock. And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me, and I will offer in his tent sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make melody to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry aloud. Be gracious to me and answer me. You have said, seek my face. My heart says to you, your face, Lord, do I seek. Hide not your face from me. Turn not your servant away in anger. O you who have been my help, cast me not off, forsake me not, O God of my salvation. For my father and my mother have forsaken me, but the Lord will take me in. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a level path because of my enemies. Give me not up to the will of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, and they breathe out violence. I believe that I shall look upon the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong. All right.
I don't know where this left off
Yep.
because it stopped recording.
So we're going to wrap it up.
I guess wherever it was.
Yeah.
No idea where it was.
No.
Not one singular clue.
That's good. We went really long on this one.
Yeah, we went super long. So hopefully it's like 30 minutes and the last 7 minutes were just cut out.
Yep.
But no idea. Love y'all. We'll read the psalm again next week that we were just reading and going over the most Christian part about this whole
it's not gonna be
thing. Love y'all. Have a wicked week. That was kind of dope. Have a wicked week. I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. If you come to church here, see you Sunday. If not,
see you in heaven.
See you in heaven. That was fire. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.